Good morning, and hope you're having a lovely, lovely morning. I'm Angela from Gogglefrogs and Natter, and I'm just putting my mic up at the same time. So hopefully the audio should be a little bit better. So here we are again. It is a Tuesday. Wow, what's happening with my weeks then? Hopefully you're having a really lovely day. I know we've got a little bit of rain today, and there's a little bit of a storm today, but the gardens need it, don't they? So, as with true Gogglefrog style, hopefully you've got your knitting. I just started doing a row while I was waiting for 10 o'clock to come round. So I've got my beautiful wool. I am finishing off the last arm in this little cardigan. Hopefully it will get finished soon. Hopefully you've got your cuppa. I've got a cup of tea and ready to sit back and relax for the rest of this hour. So lovely to see you this morning. Sorry, Brigitte says, don't worry, hardly ever know what day of the week it is. I must admit, it is so hard, isn't it? Because we're not going out as much as we used to. And I always remember when I was working, you know, there were certain days that had certain meetings on, and you had to travel to certain places. And a lot of the time I did work from home anyway, so that wasn't too different. But things have changed, haven't they? Because in the past we used to go out to go to our knit and natter groups, which is why we were set up 23 weeks ago. Can you believe it? And I believe, hey, are we on episode 111? I think it may be 111 today. So that's interesting, isn't it? Another little unique number. So we've got some music queued. I know that Robert said his music is queued, and I'll give you a little update as well about Robert, our wonderful friend, co-presenter a lot of the time. And just to let you know that I did get a message from Robert, and he had an incredible first day yesterday. So we'll hear all about it tomorrow evening at the show tomorrow night at 8 p.m. But he has had a lovely, lovely start. So he started his secondment yesterday. It's a 9-month secondment in Leighton Buzzard. He's gone into Waitrose from John Lewis, and he said it was absolutely incredible. So I know I'll explain something to you, but I know that you were all wanting to know how he was doing. So that was really good to hear. And I'm meeting him for lunch as well, because he finishes at 1 o'clock today. So that's going to be lovely. So let me do a few little good mornings for you. So I'd like to say good morning, Marion, and good morning, Marion. So lovely to have you both with us this morning. And good morning, Lindy. Lovely to see you too. Or rather, you be here. I know I can't see you. I can't see into your living room. Hello to Jackie. I know that you'll be working in the background. So good morning, Helen. Lovely to see you today. And good morning, Georgie. Lovely to see you. And morning, Deborah. Did you have a lovely day at the coast? I hope you did. And good morning, Brigitte. So it's me going solo today, so it's going to be fun, isn't it? The one thing that we do guarantee is there could be technical issues, and I know that hopefully everything will be okay. But if not, I know I'm amongst friends, so you're going to help me out, aren't you? I did explain yesterday, but I am going to go through it again about the arm and the colours, and sometimes we just have to go with it, and sometimes we decide to change things up. So, shall we have a quick listen and see what today's music is? I do not know what the music is, although Robert did say he may be able to pop in on his mobile while he's on a break. We don't know, but let's have a listen and see what he's queued up for us today on today's tune to start the day off. It always makes me smirk because my husband is called Al, my dad is called Al, and my father-in-law is called Al, and then the photographer at the wedding, who is my uncle, is also called Al, but we call him Sam. So we have lots and lots and lots of Als So that's one of those songs that whenever I hear it, I do smirk because everybody around me seems to be called Al. So yeah, so that's funny. And I hope you're at home. I bet your feet were tapping. I bet you were having a little bit of a jig while you were knitting. It's one of those feel good songs, isn't it, that whenever you hear it, it puts a smile on your face. So hopefully that happened today. So I know it's a little bit rainy out there, but I love the colder weather. I really do. So it's not cold at the moment, is it? It's still quite warm out there, but it's nice having it a little bit cooler. So yeah, so this is my sort of weather today, with a little bit of rain, a little bit of breeze, but still not freezing cold. I was trying to decide what footwear to put on today to go out in. I may even put some ankle boots on rather than slippers, but I will see. So I'm going to have a look in the chat and see what's been happening. So let's go through that now. So Brigitte says, yes, Brigitte always does this, doesn't she? Morning, peeps, 111. So see, I know that there is a thing about seeing the numbers 111 sometimes, but let's just say it's an enjoyable episode 111. So Deborah says, good morning, everyone. Georgie says, good morning and kisses. Helen says, good morning, Tuesday, and the builders are back. Wow. So yeah, Marion says, did I say Helen or Marion? Sorry. Marion says, good morning, Tuesday, and the builders are back. And I just want to say hello to Helen and to Seffi, because I know that you've joined as well. So Brigitte says, don't worry, Angela, hardly ever know what day of the week it is these days. So thank you for that. Georgie says, love the colour of your top, Angela. That colour is really pretty on you. Thank you so much. Whenever I find things that I really like in certain colours that I really like, I just buy 2 or 3 of them. So I actually bought 2 tops like this. So some days I will look as if I'm wearing the same top every day. I know I do have an orange one as well. So sometimes it's the green, and then the orange. Green, then orange. So it's quite amusing. And I've got one style of top that I've got 8 different. They're 8 different colours, but they're all the same top. So when it comes to shopping for clothes, I get what's comfort. But thank you. I loved it so much. I bought 2 of them. I just love this colour. And as you can see, I've got that in Aggie's little, this is Meadow. This is this beautiful wool. But the colours are just amazing. It's called Mellow. It's, what is it now? It's in there. Batik Swirl, Stylecraft Batik Swirl. And I think it is what converted me to start to use some Stylecraft. And I did this actually. I did it quite a while ago. But do you know what? You just reminded me. I'm going to wear this when I go out to lunch today. So this is amazing. It's a huge. This is a 1 ball. 1 ball makes that huge. So you can wear it that way, or you can put it the other way. I'll put it the other way just while we're on here. Although this is really warm. So we'll have to take it off, but it's great for presents, and the fact that there's pom-poms in it as well. My little niece got a little bit cold on Sunday. We went over there. Oh, I need to tighten the pom-poms on. So I put this around her, and she absolutely loved it. So with what I've got left of that, I'm going to make a smaller one for her. She doesn't need it quite this big. But yeah, this is probably one of the best things I think I've ever knitted, only because everybody absolutely loves it. Everybody makes comments about it. So Batik Swirl, it's about £9 for a cake. And it is lovely wool. I struggle with a lot of acrylic wool, that when I start to knit with it, my hands get really dry to the point where my skin just breaks off. It's not nice. Nothing like that with this one. Do get it with certain acrylics, and I think it just dries the moisture out, which is why I try and use a lot of wool when I knit. But this one is absolutely incredible. So but thank you for saying. So I've just put this on, so I've got something on that I've made. So thank you for that, Georgie. Jackie says, morning all. Helen says, morning everyone. I'm not at work this morning as my back is playing out. Oh no, Helen, you poor thing. Hopefully that will ease and just something will twing and go back to normal. But back problem is not nice. Deborah says, the weather is dreadful here. Glad we went out in the camper van yesterday. Yeah, although there's nothing better, is there, than driving over somewhere like Whitby when there's a storm on, parking on the, so that you can look over the whole of the hills and watch the sea, and with a nice big flask of tea or coffee. So, but I am a bit odd. But I'm sure that you had lovely weather yesterday. It was so hot yesterday, wasn't it? It was beautiful weather. And I'm so glad that you used the camper van. And I'm sure that you went and did a little bit of knitting while you were just enjoying the peace and tranquility in the countryside. So that's lovely to hear, Deborah. Jackie is working. You're always working, Jackie. You work so hard. I don't even know what you do. So next time we meet up, I'll find out what you do, Jackie. Well, you can tell us all. Deborah says, so glad to hear that Robert's had a good first day. As I said, yeah, I'll let him tell you tomorrow night. But I know that you'll all be interested how well he's doing. And he had an incredible day. So that's really, really good to hear. Marion says that's great news. Jackie says I will be there tomorrow evening now. Way, lovely to have us joining us tomorrow evening. So that'll be lovely. Yeah, can't wait. I can't believe it's tomorrow evening and it's come around so quickly. It seemed weeks and weeks off and now it's not at all. Lindy says good morning. Lovely to see you as well, Lindy. Deborah says enjoy your lunch, Angela and Robert. Husband and I are going out for lunch at a restaurant in an old mill tomorrow. Ooh, that sounds lovely. First time since the lockdown, we will be in the garden with a marquee. Sounds absolutely beautiful. I do know, Deborah, last time you went out to eat with your daughters, they look like some rather delicious pizzas. So I'm sure the food's going to be lovely where you are tomorrow. Safi says, good morning all. Good morning, Safi. Brigitte says, Helen, so sorry to hear that. Hope it gets better quickly. That's your back, Helen. And she says, love that video and music, really cheering. I just think the fact that at a time when so many bands were spending an inordinate amount of money on videos, going back to Video Killed the Radio Star, and the fact that people were spending millions and millions. There was a whitewash room with a couple of chairs, few instruments, and two people who are incredibly talented but didn't appear to take themselves back too seriously. And it's probably one of the most cheeriest videos you ever watch, isn't it? Just watching them and how they are. So I just love that. It's just like two people sitting there thinking, oh well, let's do a little bit of music, but there's so much more to it than that. So they were incredible and I love that video as well. And Jackie says, I love this song and video. Georgie said exactly the same, love this song and video. Lindy said, hope you have a good lunch and catch up with Robert. Jackie, glad you can go join the giggles tomorrow. Can't wait to see what's going to be on. I know, me and Robert never even know. So we know what we're going to do, but until we go live, we never know what's actually going to happen. So, but we've done a little bit of prep work and planning, so hopefully it'll be fine. And we can't wait to see you all tomorrow night as well, 8 o'clock. Don't forget to bring your bubbles, giggles, whatever you fancy. And Brigitte says, 111 was the NHS letter I had to have to travel to the continent. Really? I didn't realise that. Oh, and it's also the 111 is the number, isn't it, to call the NHS. So maybe it's the number of the NHS. Wow, that's incredible. Yes, E111. Is it? I can't remember. Marion says, I'm so tempted to buy some. The more I see in the batik, the more I like it. I'm on a yarn diet though. I know it's one of those that I don't have any more. When I've done this one, then that will be it. But I hope they never discontinue it. Because if you don't know what to do and you want something that looks a little bit different, you can use this. But I do think that for gifts for people, this shawl, it's incredible and costs £10. I know it takes a lot of time, which increases the value of any hand knitted up garment or item to about £3,000 with the amount of time it takes some of us to complete things, only because we happen to do 2 or 3 rows at a time. But yeah, it is lovely, absolutely lovely, and feels great as well. Batik's, well, please, Starcroft, never ever ever stop making that, because we do like it, and it would be nice if that was a go-to that we could go to in 2 and 3 years time. I do get very frustrated with yarn companies that keep relaunching the whole of their stock items. So every year we've got whole new things on there. It's great having new items, but sometimes we just want to be able to go back to those year after year and we might do a cardigan this year in that one and say, do you know what, I love this. I might do myself another cardigan, and we go back and they no longer make that wool, do they? So let's hope that they continue the batiks well, and it hides a multitude of sins as well. So if you've got joins, if you do the odd stitch, it's just a really, really lovely colour. And there is, because it isn't a pure colour, it's slightly, would you call it mottled? But you can see the undyed next to the dyed. So it's lovely. Marion, so that was Marion. Oh, hello, David. Hi, everyone. A quick hello on my break. Lovely to see you, David. And I hope it's lovely up there in Leeds. Down here, it's a little bit rainy, but absolutely lovely to see you. Anne says, morning, hello, love your top, Angela. Thank you ever so much, Anne. I have moving pictures this morning. Hooray, fabulous. I did go through to Demio yesterday and asked why. They said they didn't know. Sometimes it is just one of those, it's the upload speed. So we can always see what the download speed, but if the upload speed, you need 1 megabyte. If it's showing as 1, sometimes it's dropping out, so it might go down to 0.7, and that's why it can give static pictures. And that's actually what I used to have here in the past. I had terribly flaky internet. I went to a new company, and then I went back to this company, and it was flaky because I was trying to use the Wi-Fi. As soon as I started to hardwire in, it was absolutely perfect. So my Wi-Fi is quite stable now, but it's because I hardwire in on my laptop all the time, and that seemed to solve the problem. But we were, please let me know. And if you are getting any problems, if you can possibly just send a screenshot through to us on Facebook, in the Facebook group, that would be lovely, because then we can show them exactly what was happening at the time for you. Sorry, I'm just having a look through, and then Marion saying, hey, hi David. Deborah saying, Angela, that is true, it can be lovely being cozy in the camper van. Our gas cylinder ran out yesterday. Oh no, that would have been terrible if it had been a cold, breezy day. We managed to get our coffee, but no tea in the afternoon. We'll need to get a new one before we need to go out, before you next go out. Yeah, I found I have a little camping stove, and I've got those little bottles. I use it when I go over to Belgium with my friend Jason. So I take the little camping stove, do you know what? Because I've been moving things around. Yeah, that's my little kettle as well. Camping stove's in there. And I even take bacon, eggs, sausages, and we park up by the sand dunes and make a beautiful breakfast. Sometimes I'll go and buy lovely intricate steak, and I will put the pan lid on and just leave that to cook, and have that with some potatoes. So I'll cook all sorts at the side of the seaside when I go away. So yeah, we all need gas, don't we, in the camping stoves and the camper van. I don't have a camper van, but I think I might get one at some point in my life. And Deborah's saying, Helen, hope you feel better soon. Jackie says, oh, I work for Kent County Council as admin assistant. I work for the Strategic Planning and Policy Division, which has 5 teams: heritage, conservation, national environment, and coast, transport strategy, floodwater management, and strategic planning and infrastructure. Now that's a mouthful. That is amazing. Thank you so much, Jackie. I didn't know what you did, so that's brilliant. Natural environment and coast, what an amazing part to work in. Oh, can't wait to find out more. Brigid says 111 form was replaced by the EH1C as it was more efficient than applying for a form before every trip. Oh, right, thank you. And Deborah says, I've 2 cakes of batik swirl in my stash. You lucky person. I've got no more in my stash after this is gone. I think I might knit a lovely shawl like yours. Could you let us know where the pattern was from? It was a free pattern that I got with this, so I wouldn't be able to give you that one. But what I will do is I will find something. I will have a look through Ravelry and find something for you. It's quite a simple one, a really, really simple one. So it won't be right of me to share that one, but I will certainly find one very, very similar. But it's actually the stripes that do the colour. So I think you guys are all better at patterns and things than I am. But any that you did that started like that, I know there's these lovely sort of, I will call them an eyelet. There's these around at the edge. So you probably know how to do these. But it's self stripes. So anything that you have like that, it would work out beautifully. And it's just the self striping that makes it amazing. Yeah, so I hope they never run out of this. If they do, if they stop, if anyone knows if they stop making this, please let me know, because I'm going to empty every company out there who has this meadow, because it's just lovely. It really is. I mean, can you imagine a cardigan knitted out of this? Like a coat type thing knitted out of this. I just think it's fabulous. I've just had a bit of an idea. I have a pattern for a Norro, like a coat, and you have to start with lots of different, you start with 5 different balls. And what you do is you start to knit them. Oh no, but Nora, not, it's okay. They go in stripes, so you knit them in stripes, and then you knit across. So it's like a patchwork effect when you've finished it. So I'm going to have a look and see if I could do anything like this, because the colours are just amazing. And I think what you'd need to do is you might need to have a couple of balls of this and just cut some of the colours out. So cut the first colour out, keep the first one, and then the second ball, cut that first colour out. So then they're not perfect. So I know it makes sense in my mind. So I'll show you what I mean. You'd realise what I meant when I get the pattern. So I might just run off and see if I can get the pattern. So Deborah, I will let you know a very similar pattern. Okay. David, E111, known as the E111, was the old version of the EHIC card for health cover for the EU. I don't know what I've got. I've got some card upstairs, but because I've never used it, I don't even know what it is. I think it runs out though this year, so I don't think it's going to work anymore. Louise says, good morning. Just joined you, so lovely to see you. Jackie says, yes, I will tell you more when we eventually meet up. Yes, I love knowing about the coast, how we keep things as good as we do. what we do, what our challenges are, and yeah, and I always have this, like when I go abroad, how come when I go to Belgium nothing ever erodes, and here in the UK we have lots and lots and lots of our coast being eroded? So for me it's the same sea that comes through, and I love understanding the differences between the two. Why does it wear away there and why doesn't it wear away in these other parts? So I can't wait to have conversations. Oh, wow. So thank you. And Deborah says, Angela, please don't go to any trouble. I can easily have a look on Ravelry. Thank you. Yeah, that's great then. But anything will self-stripe, and the stripes are so long that they are beautiful. And as you can see, it just, no matter how you play with this, it just gives you more colours. And I've just thought, do you know what, because I'm doing this for my little niece, I might do one with, I might try it with more pom-poms along the bottom. I don't know how that will work out, but she absolutely loved the pom-poms. And out of one of these cakes, you could probably get 2 of these for smaller people. And you can just do 1 set of colours, because I'm sure there are 2 sets of colours, 2 entire sets of colours that go through this. So you could get 2 of them out of it for smaller people. I absolutely love it. I really do. I have to say it's one of my favourite wools. And oh my, have I got some beautiful wools. Yeah, and I'll show you. Do you know what? It is here, so I'm going to show you this one. In the bag. And I know I've shown you these so many times, but I just love them, and I still haven't done this one. This was a beautiful gift. Thank you very much for the gift. It was beautiful from you, Felty Thing. So that's one. It's got blues, ochre, browns, rusts, purples, lavenders, everything in it. So that's beautiful, and it is going to look lovely on. And then this is the other one, Dove Stone, which they don't make anymore, unfortunately. But can you see that colour and how it just pops? Hello, Robert. Robert's here. Ooh, lovely to see you, Robert. Are you on a break and are you eating and drinking? We hope. And I've told everyone you had a really brilliant day yesterday. So everyone's really happy for you. So I know that, oh, Tracy, sorry, I didn't realise you were here. Hello, Tracy. So now chat's going to go mad saying hello to Robert. Just having a quick slurp of me tea. And just like, I've got that, which is beautiful, but I've also got this, which I absolutely love, Dove Stone. But all of their wools, Titus, etc. I do love them. And this is going to be a project together because they will look amazing. So hopefully I'll get a hitchhiker out of it, or something similar to a hitchhiker, who knows, but I think it'll be nice to just combine those and have something quite beautiful. And then this was something that came with it as well, that's really quite beautiful, that little pin badge. Oh, that would look quite nice. We also forget, don't we? They're really nice if you don't flip them over your shoulder, and when you're doing your scarves, if you clip them up there. So if you do have pom-poms, if you can see those pom-poms permanently, I think they'll look a lot better on the front than always over the back. So those are just some little things, but always get a little clip. And there, I actually got something years ago from Lincoln Christmas Market, and I found it at my parents' a couple of months ago. And they're like little, they're like an oval, and then you have something to sort of stick through. They are actually scarf clips for woolen scarves in red. They're absolutely beautiful, and the company's still going, because I'm sure I bought it about 20 years ago. And I looked online and the lady is still there. So when it comes up to Christmas, I will post them as ideas, because sometimes we've got an item that we've created for somebody, but then we just want to have a slight accent with a brooch. But these brooches are amazing. So if it's somebody special that you're doing, but let's face it, £10 and time, I just think is one of the best gifts that you can give anybody. But that's me. And I would not, I've never used Starcraft yarn ever. Never. I bought some when I first started knitting, and that was the first thing that went into my stash, thinking I'm probably never going to knit with that, because I just didn't get on with the texture, the feel of it. But that totally hooked me, and from there I got linen drape, a beautiful peacocky colour. That was amazing. So yeah, I have bought some odd ones, but I know that I am going to be starting something in noir soon, if that doesn't go first before I get my hands on it. So I know that some of the wool that we had was absolutely stunning. Yes, so I'm going to be doing a beautiful big shawl in the noir, which will be lovely. So let's have a look. So Robert, so everyone's saying morning, Robert. Hi everyone. Hello Robert. Robert has just left the floor. Deborah says, Robert, nice to see you, glad your job is going well. Thank you everyone. So it's absolutely lovely to have Robert joining us. Thank you. And you can tell us tomorrow night, because I know in the past we've seen you having your what is it? You've been having your lunch in the canteen thing, like the cafe where we all go as well when we go to High Wycombe. So I don't know what it's like where you are there. So that'll be good to see, and you can tell us all about it tomorrow night. So now I am going to share my screen, and we're going to have a look and see what's happening in Facebook. So please just remember, when I'm showing you what's in Facebook, I can't see the chat, so I'll come back to chat in a little while, and we will see what's here. So hopefully you can see that now. So we're on our Knit and Natter group, and Brigitte, another project on blanket for little Enno in Germany. It measures 125 by 135 centimeters. That is lovely, isn't it? The colors, I still keep saying that when you look very, very close, it's like underwater, but the blanket doesn't look like that at all, does it? It's just a beautiful pattern. Absolutely love that. So well done, Brigitte. Look at that edge as well. I love that. The edge is beautiful. Wow. Thank you for posting it just as we were starting as well. So that's brilliant. I did refresh the page just before we went live. Yeah, sorry, Sally said as well, love the edging. That is beautiful. You must let us know what edging you've used on that. Trisha has shared this post. The art of photography. Cornish grandmother repairs her grandson's clothing. This is so funny. Oh, fabulous. Just look at that. So let's just have a quick look. So she has got beautiful hat on. She's got a scarf there. She will darn that. Probably lots and lots of layers. The one thing that I always find absolutely incredible, though, look how white her apron is. How did she do that? And how did they keep things that clean back then? I know there was something called a boil wash, but you know, we have so many chemicals today, and it's so hard to get things white. And a lot of the time, if it doesn't come out white, we throw it away. But these people couldn't replace stuff, could they? But I absolutely love that. Let's have a look. I'm never quite sure what else could be. Oh dear, I've done it now, haven't I? This is what I shouldn't do. I shouldn't start clicking. I shouldn't start start clicking when somebody's loaded the picture. I should have kept it there. I have no idea what other photography is going to be on there. And that is the thing with art and photography, isn't it? But hopefully you enjoyed that little picture there. I think I saw it in seconds, thought I'd best not look any further. And yeah, his little face, so trusting actually. Okay, just repair them. No fear whatsoever. He's probably thinking, oh, I'm going to have to stop playing now for a few minutes. Brigitta's saying a couple more things from the box of Ancient Delights. We had to master a variety of stitches on the sampler piece and later make a stocking bag. I don't know what possessed me to put bamboo toggles on it. They were left over from my grandmother making a coat for my little brother. Oh, Brigitta, that's so amazing. Amazing. Look at them. And oh, wow. That is incredible. Thank you for sharing that. And Trisha, Wednesday, September the 9th, knitting a Gansey pattern sampler for beginners. Oh, and look, it says Whitby on there as well. So if you are interested in that, take a look. And Safi says it looks great. If only it wasn't a school day, I would have taken a trip out, as I do love Whitby. Yeah, I love Whitby as well. I'll take a look at that. And Brigitta, the hat is finished. Well done, you. So she finished that yesterday afternoon. Absolutely brilliant. So well done. Yeah, Pat said your knitting is so perfect. It is, Brigitta. Every time I look at everything, there's never, ever anything out of place with it. So it's beautiful. Here's one that Trisha shared. And that's when you told her knitting is for old women, and you can see where the knitting needles have been shoved. Yes, hilarious. That's funny. And then this was what we were talking about, Fab Crochet Pattern, lovely yarn shop in Lancaster. I met them whilst in spring in 2019, and I just think that those shades are lovely. We looked at this, I think it was yesterday, was it? I love this. I feel like there is some sort of untold story behind this. And Robert said, this is not where I took the frogs from for Wednesday, lol. That's very funny. Thank you very much, Robert. It did make me smile. Very, very uncanny. And that's Fran's one from the other day. And that carpet bag, which is just incredible. I'll just make sure that there's nothing else. No, we had a look at the 2 villagers and 1 yarn bomb. And it's little High Littleton and, sorry, I don't know, but have a look through all different book titles. And I did think they were absolutely amazing. That was the hat that Brigitta was having, modeling her creation on. So I think I've gone through all of them now. Thank you so much. So let me go back and see what's been happening. Right. So Robert says, thank you, everyone. And he says, no kitchen here, just mid-vendored a chocolate cookie. Oh, I can see that we're going to have to keep you in food. So you need a packed lunch when you go to work. But it's local. We love that store. So we can't wait to see you. When we pop in, it's going to be so strange walking in there and seeing Robert, isn't it? It's going to be lovely. So Brigitte says, the edge of the blanket is a crab stitch, missing 1 stitch. Oh, I don't even know what a crab stitch is. So I can't wait to have a look at that. Have I got a pen? Yes, crab stitch. Crab stitch missing a stitch. That's going to be one of them that I'm going to hunt out and see, but it's lovely. And it is the edging that finishes it, doesn't it? And we forget that so often. So I love the edging, and I know everybody else did. Safi says it turned out lovely, Brigitte. Robert says that's what I do. I don't know which part that was to. Robert says, do share the event about tomorrow, everyone. So excited. Yes, we've got lots planned. Well, as I said, it's planned, but when we go live, we just go live. But we have some incredible things to inspire you tomorrow evening. So hopefully you will be there, and just get as many people along as you can. It's going to be fun. We're going to be social distancing at Robert's, and I'm going to get a taxi home. So that's going to be fun, isn't it? Robert says the photos, ... Oh, we'll be showing you photos. So Lindy says crab stitch is reverse double crochet, work left to right rather than right to left along the edge. I may have to Google that. YouTube it to watch how people do that. So I will. Thank you, Lindy. I may have done it at some point. I just don't know what it is. And I tend to follow rather than, it's like I can't read music, but I can play. And I'm sort of the same with a lot of things. So I have to watch and then find that way. Robert says the photos, is that the photos for tomorrow night? I think it is. Brigitte, crab stitches crocheting the wrong way. Normally you do a stitch in every one, but I wanted to make it stand out as the yarn was too chunky. So you miss one and then do another crab stitch and then miss one. Robert says, I'm drinking, lol. Of course, when you scroll through the photos, it's like me not clicking on the Agar page and showing my page. I know, yeah, it's what we said at the beginning, isn't it? There'll always be a technical hitch on Gogglefrogs. Thankfully, it proves that we're very human. Helen says, I think Robert meant the clicks on the photos too. I know, Gogglefrogs page. Yeah, I've probably just shown you mine. Who knows? Showing you my page. And Safi says, crab stitch is really nice. When we made Sophie's Universe, everyone seemed to hate it, but I enjoyed doing it. That's interesting. Very interesting, Safi. I know when I the Sophie's Universe and all of those that come out, there's always some stitches in there that are, it's the first time we've ever done them, and people either love them or hate them. So I'm going to have a go at crab stitch at some point. Might be edging my new to be nephew's blanket when I eventually start that. But yeah, it will be very, very, very nice to try this crab stitch edging. So I'm sort of trying to, I'll have a look. I will try that eventually. So I'm going to try and do another row. I think I've done one row today. This is why me and Robert take so long to knit things. Because when you're doing these shows, you can't actually do much knitting. But hey ho. So let me know if there's anything that I missed out today. What was it today anyway? What is Tuesday? Monday is Mashup Monday. Tuesday is I don't know. Wednesday is we're going to have fun with a drink. And then we've got Thursdays, because Thursday's back this week, isn't it? So that's nice. I'm not hurtling up and down the country. So, oh, did I tell you my little story yesterday? So we put a table in this room, so I'm not in the front porch all the time. And I had the French doors open because I have a little feral cat that arrives every so often. So anyway, the feral cat splodged a bin, and he'd had some biscuits and then he'd left. Well, I could hear that there were birds outside in the garden because I had the French windows open. But as I turned round, and this big wood pigeon turned round, who was walking towards the cat biscuits, thinking, oh, I'll have some of those. I've never heard a noise like it come out of a wood pigeon. I don't know who was more scared, me or the wood pigeon, because I just thought, how do I get this out of the house? Anyway, this wood pigeon eventually swooped off and left the house. And then I took all the biscuits outside, thinking you can have them outside. But the wood pigeon, I think, was so scared, it didn't come back into the garden yesterday to eat them up again. So never mind. So I had a wood pigeon come and give me a little bit of a fright last night. So the door is closed just to make sure there's not one coming in again. But it was quite funny. Oh, Marion says, Throwback Tuesday, had to leave and come back. Did you say shawl pattern came free with the batik swirl yarn? Yes, it did. It came from the Spotted Sheep. So I can't give you that one, but there will be ones on, like, it is such a simple pattern. It really is, with just something around the edging. But it is so lovely, it really is. And with all of these patterns, there's always one on there. It'll just be in a different yarn. Brigitte says, Throwback Thursday, that's why I showed my old stuff. Thank you very much. Throwback Tuesday. Throwback Tuesday. I'll try and remember that. Oh, another row done, thankfully. So when I've done this, I've got so many projects left to finish, haven't I? And there is that one that is the blanket that's, I've got a Norro blanket to crochet up. I've also got my Yorkshire Shores, and it's 12 pieces that you knit together in four rows. Then you knit it together, it makes a blanket, but they're all Yorkshire Gansey patterns. So that's why it's quite special. And when I went into the shop, I picked up 3 different colourways, put them together, and it was only when I went home I realised rhubarb is what I love. One was called Doncaster, which is where my mum's from, and one was called, is it called, where my dad's from? Edo? Is it Edo? I think so. So it's just by pure chance that I bought 3 wools that are all either where we're from or our favourite colour. And mine is always rhubarb, always has been. Love rhubarb. It's so Yorkshire, so it's really lovely. And I do need to finish that, although I need to frog part of it, because I did, you know, when you're putting 2 pieces together and you've got an extra knit row, and I can just see it. So I need to take it back and change that, so that I don't see it at a glance. I know it's going to be a huge blanket, but that's a beautiful one. If you've not seen Yorkshire Shores, it is a lovely, lovely pattern book. And I know all the time that we've been doing these shows, I've always talked about Barham Mew, and they used to have a shop in Leeds, but unfortunately they had to close that. Now they're a cooperative, and they still go to the shows, but they have the most beautiful wool, and they use a lot of Blueface Leicester, which I absolutely love. I really do. It's one of my, I think it is just about my favourite wool, and I know I love Norro. I absolutely love Norro, but Blueface Leicester is a British wool, and I just think it's so bouncy, so soft. I absolutely love that stuff. So yeah, I love Blueface Leicester, and it is in there, a lot of their wools. So just have a look at them. But Yorkshire Shores is quite lovely, and they're all called, all the items in there are called things like Filey. I can't remember. I think there is one called Flamborough in there. So I'll have a look in the book, and then maybe, I can't promise for tomorrow because there's so much going on tomorrow, but I will share later in the week. But I'm sure there is one there called Flamborough, and it may even be oh, I don't even know if it's like a wrap or a shawl, but it is lovely. And it's one of those books that, you know, you can look through it and read it. It's not just a pattern book. There are things to inspire you in it, which is lovely. Let's have a look. Robert's got to go, folks. Have a great day and see you tomorrow night. See you tomorrow, Robert. Thank you ever so much for dropping by. Lovely to see you. And then Marion says champagne rhubarb triangle is in Yorkshire. I know. I buy my rhubarb from one of the famous ones, Tomlinson's Farm Shop. It's in Pudsey, but they are one of the originals. They've been there for generations growing rhubarb. And this year I got rhubarb from there. It was practically the first weekend that they stocked it, and it was just amazing. Absolutely amazing. So Tomlinson's Farm Shop, I go there all the time. It's quite incredible. So yeah. And then Brigitte says that blinking wind is building into a storm again. Yeah, I don't know what the name is of this storm. We put our smaller plant pots onto sheltered area and took even not ripe tomatoes off the bushes. Oh wow, to lighten the way. Wow, you poor things. And then Robert says, I've done those. Deborah says, Angela, that book sounds lovely. It is. It used to be so lovely to go to Bar MU and just sit and read, because they had a lovely settee and chairs in there and you could look through every page. But Yorkshire Shores is a book I would absolutely recommend. You know, we can use any wool with these things, but it's just lovely seeing things that are so Yorkshire in there, and the fact that they go through all of the different Gansey patterns for this blanket. I think there's 6 or 7 different patterns that you use. It is very special. And Marion says it's Storm Francis. Okay. And Lindy says it's Storm Francis, Angela. I know I've kept hearing the name, but I think it's about 4 a.m. this morning. Then I went back to sleep. So hopefully this storm won't get too bad for us. Do you know what? I'm just going to have a look and show you Yorkshire Shores book. 9 modern knitting designs inspired by Yorkshire Ganseys. So that's the book. So that cape is knitted in, I don't think it's Dovestone, but it's the new one that's replaced that. But it's an amazing book, really nice. And I know that we all love the thought of Ganseys. We're all intrigued by Ganseys. We may even have had a go at knitting Ganseys, but my oh my, are those needles tiny to make a proper Gansey. So they are all inspired by Ganseys, and you'll be pleased that I didn't find myself knitting on a tiny knitting needle. I think I may be on 3.25s knitting the blanket, but it's not as small as what you would expect a Gansey to be on the 1.5s and 2s. So oh, and it's 59. I am so sorry. Time is up. So thank you for your time. Thank you, Brigitte. Hopefully you enjoyed the session all around this and our love of all things wool. Deborah, lovely. Yes, you need to start your Gansey. It was a beautiful gift, wasn't it? Can't wait to see the progress on that. Linda, thanks for a nice hour again. Really looking forward to tomorrow. We are too. We can't wait to see you there. And I'd just like to say, oh, Marion, you're bringing a G&T tomorrow. Have a lovely, lovely day. Hopefully Storm Francis doesn't get too aggressive and do too much damage. Be safe, and we will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. for our Giggles over Goggles. Love to you all, and see you again soon. Bye bye.